A very warm welcome, everybody, to this press conference, the 48th edition of the BMW Berlin Marathon. Welcome from our presenter of this press conference on Friday, Urs Weber. And we're looking forward to talking to our elite men, at least several of them, including Eliud Kipchoge, the world record holder. We have a wonderful weather this morning, bodes well for race day on Sunday, not forgetting Saturday's inline skating. We're going to be presenting to you on stage not only the elite men, but the elite wheelchairs and Heimbikers, and a special football surprise. And Urs Weber introducing himself. He is editor of Runner's World Germany and your host during press conference week. And I'd like to welcome Jürgen Lock, the CEO of the BMW Berlin Marathon and the SCC events, the event organizer. So welcome to Jürgen. And just a note that what you're listening to is the live stream. If you're listening and following it around the world, this is being broadcast live on live stream online. And everything in this room is going to be shown live.
We have a direct translation service. Andy Edwards, our colleague, is here who will give you a direct translation. Just ask for some headphones, so you will have the English version. Ja, wir haben gesagt, wir haben etliche Gäste hier. Unter anderem ist hier auch...
So we're just going to welcome the first of our guests here. And first of all, we're going to have a chat with Jürgen Lock, the CEO of SCC Events, the organisers of this 48th edition of BMW Berlin Marathon. We're just talking about the weather. And good morning from Jürgen Lock. And yes, saying it's another blissful morning in terms of weather and conditions for the marathon. It's absolutely optimal conditions, optimum conditions. The weather forecast is pointing to being around 11 or 12 degrees centigrade at the start on Sunday morning, and will rise to maybe a peak of around 17 degrees centigrade. The wind will be from the southeast, but not much wind, so very light wind only, barely a breath of wind. So all the points to ideal conditions. And again, Jürgen Lock says optimum conditions look very likely. We'll bring up to a wonderful day, we hope. And Urs Weber, moving on to the subject of the Green Line and sustainability, very dear to the heart of the organisers, SCC Events. And Jürgen Lock says, yes, sustainability is one of our key points, not only this year, but in the past, but more than ever this year. So that anyone with a start number can travel for free on public transport around Berlin to reach the start and indeed departing at the finish line. Just a request to turn, for those in the press conference room, to turn off their telephones. Slight interference we had. And yes, talking further about sustainability and recycling, that everyone is encouraged to do their bit to recycle and not waste. And that applies to the media as well, and everybody everybody involved. And of course, also bring up the point of the Marathon Expo, which is well underway now for the Berlin Marathon. There's sustainability policies in operation there. And taking the subject on to the volunteers, 7,500 volunteers involved in one way or another. And was Weber talking about his own visit to the Marathon Expo yesterday. And talking about the numbers rising, who are now collecting their start numbers at the Marathon Expo. And we're noticing the numbers of those using public transport. We're very happy to say, thanks to their free travel with their start numbers and collecting their start numbers from the Marathon Expo. And we're hoping that all that collection of start numbers will function as well it's always done. And also Weber mentioning that he was collecting various goodies at the Adidas stand at the Expo yesterday. But a few cancellations amongst the elite. If you were watching our live stream yesterday, Nancy Jelagat of Kenya, injury has forced her, one of the leading runners, to withdraw. And in general, yes, we have a few people dropping out. Sensible. If you're not feeling well, not to run. And of course, a reminder that Berlin is one of the 6 Abbott World Marathon Majors races, the 6 top marathons in the world. And that applies also to the wheelchairs, which we'll be hearing from some of the elite shortly. And also ever making the point, yes, there are many gold medalists from Tokyo last year, the Olympics, and indeed other championships going to be on the start line in one way or another. And we'll be talking with the race director, Mark Milde, shortly about the fields. And Jürgen Lock, who's seen this many times over the years in his role, but is saying how emotional it is to see the race get underway, watching from the grandstand at the start line, and of course seeing people coming across the finish line, all in the Tiergarten, one of the magnificent parks in Berlin. And Weber saying, well, if anybody's feeling nervous and has a bit of energy to spare, want to get rid of their nerves in their legs and elsewhere in their bodies, there's always the Saturday morning breakfast run. And that attracts quite a few thousand from 8:30. So no lie-in on Saturday morning if you want to do it. And they get a nice little breakfast at the end of it. And there'll still be, of course, a great deal going on at the Marathon Expo on Saturday, the eve of the race. So many thanks to Jürgen Lock, CEO of SCC Events, the event organizers for the BMW Berlin Marathon. So let's welcome, first of all, the first of our elite performers, the handbikers. And we're working on stage Vico Merklein, a very familiar name among the handbikers in Berlin. And also another German, she is Yvonne Pilian. So welcome to you both, Vico and Yvonne. How many times have you raced in Berlin, Vico? First question to him. One of the most frequently seen handbikers on the streets of Berlin in this race. It's a fixed date on your calendar. Vico Merklein, not quite sure. He thinks either 15 or 16 times he's raced the BMW Berlin Marathon. And he's also done a hat-trick, achieved a hat-trick of wins here. Oh, and just to mention that significant for the media in the hall, there will be no round table one-to-one or group interviews afterwards. This is because of the hygiene regulations. They have been much reduced this year in terms of following the end of lockdown and the pandemic, but the organisers are still being extremely careful, naturally enough, to make sure that nobody has to drop out because of catching COVID at the last moment. So any questions from the floor, that's your time to put them. And indeed, you can be putting questions online. That facility, colleagues of mine will be dealing with that. And we had some yesterday. So a question, what's the significance, the status of Berlin for you as a handbiker? Well, for Vico Merklein, he says it's the biggest marathon for me by far in importance. Looking at the numbers this year, we've got 92 scheduled to be in the race as handbikers. Vico Merklein talking about 150. I'm not quite sure if that's accurate, but there may be some dropouts. Turning to Yvonne Pilian. Well, Yvonne Pilian saying, frankly, this kind of field and these numbers of the handbikers, she's just happy to be on the start line. Says she's going to try and get into a good leading group, as she did last year. For her, she'd like it a little warmer than the predicted 17, 18 degrees at the peak. She'd like it a little hotter. Actually, she'd prefer 25 degrees centigrade. But she understands for the runners, they like it lower temperatures. Joining us on stage from...
bikes on the wheelchair, so that's why I'm not sure if I get on the podium already.
That is a quite interesting information, and I was looking at the name and said, what? Not in the handbike, but in the wheelchair. So what made your decision? How did you change the discipline, so to say?
I'm already some years active in the triathlon, and in the triathlon is running also important part of racing. So I started in 2013 or something like that with triathlon, and yeah, new challenge. Try to follow the fast guys in the racing chair, and so yeah, that's why I decided to start this year in the racing chair.
I can imagine it's a completely different challenge, right, for the body. And how long do you have to prepare to do the race in the wheelchair instead of the...
Last winter I did a lot of more work in the racing chair, so I tried to improve, and I think I'm improved for sure. But we will see if it's enough for Sunday. But I'm really looking forward to start, and yeah, just first race, so we'll see.
We will be happy to share your experience. It's great to be to listen to you after the race on Sunday. Good luck to you. So, sind einige Fragen? Or are there any questions to the athletes here on stage? Then please just raise your hands. Otherwise, we can do directly the photo call. But before that, I don't know if you knew about that. Es gibt eigene Medaillen. Und auf der Medaille hier auf der Handbike Division, wen sehen wir da?
Ich glaube, das bin ich.
Das sind die ganz neuen Medaillen, die wir hier mitgebracht haben. Und auf der Medaille für die Handbiker ist tatsächlich der Vico verewigt hier. Und ich habe die Medaille für die Rennrollstuhlfahrer auch gleich mitgebracht. Da ist der Heinz Frey aus der Schweiz nämlich verewigt hier. Ja, das ist ein Applaus wert. Zumal es tatsächlich eine Verbeugung ist vor der jahrelangen Leistung, die Vico hier geleistet hat, und über die Leistung von Heinz Frey werden wir gleich natürlich dann auch noch mit Manuela und Marcel auch aus der Schweiz noch reden, aber finde ich auf jeden Fall eine ganz hervorragende Idee vom Veranstalter, das so zu machen, und ich darf dir diese Medaille jetzt schon mal vorab offiziell überreichen.
Vielen Dank dafür.
Ja, gerne. Und dann würde ich aufrufen, dass wir jetzt gleich den Photocall machen.
And now we're going to switch to the photo call for our three handbiker performers. Well, in fact, I must say that Jetze Plat from Holland, the Netherlands, is going to be switching to wheelchairs this time. That'll be a great challenge for him. But Yvonne Pilian, the Germans Yvonne Pilian and Viggo Merklein, switching, or staying rather, with hand biking. Now, the Photocall. Following this Photocall, we'll be having the chance to hear from the race director, Urs Weber. Yeah. And we have a World Cup football surprise. I think I'll hold off for saying just who, but a World Cup winner will be taking the stage. Keep you in suspense. World Cup winner of 20 years ago. So many thanks to all three of you, and we wish you every success on Sunday, and look forward to talking to you after the race at the press conference. That should be taking place starting around 12:30 on Sunday, 12:30 Central European Time, 11:30-ish GMT. It'll be a sequence of press conferences as ever with the BMW Berlin Marathon.
Ja, bewegende.
Yeah, very impressive pictures of both the hand bikers and the wheelchair elite. And now we'd like to welcome on stage some of the elite of a very strong wheelchair race. So welcome Manuela Schär, the great Swiss performer, and of course another great Swiss, Marcel Hook, Merle Menje from Germany, also Daniel Romanchuck of the USA, and Madison Rozario of Australia. These are some of the very best. Well, welcome Manuela Schär. So you're among the most frequent winners, Manuela, here in Berlin. What are the chances for Sunday for you? Manuela Schär answers, I think I've got a pretty good chance. I really love this race, the flat course and the atmosphere. I did have quite a long time out of competition because of injury this year. But I'm really delighted that I can get into a race again and be here in Berlin. How long was that injury take you out of action? Well, actually, I'm thinking about the race, and I'm on Sunday, and I'm just glad to be here, rather than saying what I could actually achieve in the race. Turning to Merle Menje of Germany, wearing that I think lightish grey top. What's your hopes? Merle Menje says, well, I'm just, for a start, very happy to be on the start line in this quality race. And I want to learn from the experience. Oh, going back to her previous experience, she was very much a newcomer last year. There's a big difference when you know the course, as she's learnt from last year. Do you have a time as a target? Not really. I don't have a target time. I really want to get into a good racing group. We're all going at good tempo and see what happens.
What will be your race plan for Sunday? What's your aim? What's your goal?
Or I think, you know, every marathon you kind of just try and, we've got such incredible athletes here, and you kind of just try and do your bit, do your work, and stay up there for, you know, as much as you can. And I think one of the things that is incredible about the women's field is the way everybody races with such integrity. I think every athlete out there, you know, does their work, and it's an incredible experience to be a part of that. And so I don't really go in with a time planned necessarily, but it's to kind of, you know, stay with the pack and do everything I can to kind of make it the best race possible.
Okay. Are you starting in the Abbott World Marathon major series?
Yeah, definitely.
And how's your ranking there?
It's, I mean, last year was a bit all over the place for us, and I think it's just ended and started again. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes to add to it.
Okay, good luck to you then. Ja, wir sind natürlich, wir haben gerade.
So we have another Swiss, and a very good one as well, on the platform. The great Marcel Hoek, the Silver Bullet, as he's known. So Marcel and Daniel Romanchuck next to him from the USA, they're sharing the lead in the Abbott World Marathon Majors. Marcel Hoek says, I'm delighted to be here in Berlin once again. Oh, his last marathon was in Tokyo. That was in February. He won in Tokyo. Marcel did not race Boston, and that title was won by the man next to him, Daniel Romanchuck of the USA. So I'm really looking forward, keen to see how the race is going to go out.
We have best memories of your racing here in Berlin, and I was just mentioning you have the same points in the major series. So what's your goal for Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's similar to Maddie in that I don't really have a time in mind, but you know, I think go in with a plan, which is probably gonna go out fast. That's how races have been typically within this last year, but always ready for something to change.
Okay, you won Boston this year already, and how did you keep up your shape from then? Because it's quite a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think training has been going very well since then. We kind of went into some track racing and shorter road races over the summer, and recently transitioning back into marathon seasons. So I think training has been going very well.
Manuela, ich habe es eben erwähnt, wir haben neue Medaillen hier vom Veranstalter STC Events.
So back to Manuela Schär. And we have a medal, I think. Yes, we do indeed, for Manuela Schär, as we had for Vico Merklein, the handbikers. Yes, it's a question whether she's seen Heinz Frey, her Swiss compatriot, who's among the legends of wheelchair racing. There's a medal for Heinz as well. And the medal, as with Vico Merklein, is for, I think that was winning six titles, amongst the most frequently won titles. The medal goes to Manuela Schär. Legends. Was Weber picking up what I just said about legends of wheelchair racing? Indeed, Manuela Schär is definitely one of them. Oh, and Manuela Schär talking about background, of course, in Switzerland. There's a lot of interest and coverage of wheelchair and handbiker sport, and there are races almost every weekend if you want to compete. And that's how I built up my long experience. And talking about her debt to Heinz Frey, that when she was starting out, he gave her quite a few tips about competition. And Heinz Frey, with every good reason, getting a lot of praise from his fellow athletes on stage. So I think we're about to switch to time for the Photocall, but if there are any questions from the floor for our athletes, Osweber saying please go ahead and raise your hand. Otherwise, it's time for the photographers to snap into action. Following this, we're going to be having the elite men on stage. And of course, I probably don't need to say it, but Eliud Kipchoge, the double Olympic champion, world record holder. That record he set in Berlin in 2018, 2:01:39. And indeed the man who chased him all the way, Guye Adola of Ethiopia. And Adola, last year's winner, will also be on stage. It is one of the major changes in the marathon that, with certainly the Abbott World Marathon majors, that the wheelchair elite get quite rightly full prominence. They get the same prize money as the runners, and these 6 races, these 6 marathons throughout the year, really highlight their skills and the top marathon runners in the world. And just interesting, just looking through the media coverage online and talking about Eliud Kipchoge, of course, a reminder that he's never run New York. So speculation about what he might do in future, but he's definitely running here on Sunday. And as our presenter, Osweber, mentioned earlier, there won't be any one-to-one interviews because of the hygiene restrictions. But I think the media, we hope, in the hall and indeed online, got a pretty good impression so far of the thoughts of the handbikers and the wheelchair elite. And coming up, the elite men.
Die kommen im Moment, alle super, alle spitze. Thema mit Jürgen oder sowas zu sprechen kann? Er kommt jetzt. Er kommt, Kaká kommt jetzt an.
And I can see our presenter Osweber.
And have a great race. Vielen Dank fürs Kommen. Gutes Rennen am Sonntag. Und für uns.
Now, our next guest. Maybe I was too soon. I spoke too soon. We're going to have some World Cup football. So that's our little surprise. From Brazil, has just arrived one of the world's great footballers, 2002 World Cup football winner, Kaká.
From Brazil, I heard. Did you?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I arrived yesterday. Yes.
Cool, great to have you
just
here.
Arrived from Brazil.
Kaká, it's we always say it's about a 10-kilometer run during a football game in the 90 minutes. Still, it's a big step to do a marathon. And but do you profit from your physiological advantages as a soccer player, as a football player, for running a marathon?
Yeah, I think what I can bring from football and from my professional life in sports, it's more the mentality, and also, of course, my body was used to do something different, movements and different type of run. And also a funny story, my first training to start running, my coach gave me a 40 minutes running. And I start running and I said, oh, it's okay, 40 minutes, I think it's good, because I use it to run 1 hour and a half, 45 plus 45 plus the extra times and everything, so 40 minutes I think it's okay. And then when I was with 30 minutes, I realized maybe I never run 40 minutes straight. Because 1 hour and a half I can run, but I run, I don't know, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, then I stop, I walk, but I do different movements. So it's completely different type of training, and I get used to that as well. But the mentality, the target, the discipline, perseverance, I think it's the same that I could bring from football to running.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting to hear that. Yeah, we just saw pictures here from you finishing, I think, the half marathon, which you ran already, and you had a time of sub 1 hour 40 minutes, which is really strong. Congratulations. What are you heading for Sunday? Is it a sub 3:30 marathon time, or what is your goal for Sunday?
Yeah, my target with my coach, we decided 3 hours and 40 minutes. I think that will be the target. Okay. And of course, during the race, you see if you can go a little bit further, if I can improve a little bit my rhythm. But the target is to 3 hours and 40 minutes. Okay. So I think that's my goal, my target.
Very good goal. How come you decided to run here in Berlin? At the BMW Berlin Marathon?
Again, I have a very good coach, and together we decided to run Berlin because I wanted to have this experience, the marathon experience. So I wanted to run one major, and he told me that the best one to start it should be Berlin because it's a flat marathon. To start, it's a good one. It's a very good city. It's a very good atmosphere. So the whole package brought me to Berlin. Then I decided to run Berlin. I asked some friends that did the race before, and everybody told me very good things about this marathon. So I think I picked a good run, right?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I did it 8 times, so I can say your coach is a very good coach. So, but you're not starting by yourself. You're not alone. You brought your father and your brother, and will you have sort of a family challenge on Sunday?
Actually, it's more a collaborative thing than a challenge in family. My brother is with me everywhere. We do things together. We are brother. We work together. We run together. So we are very, very close. And he accepted this challenge, and he came with me. But unfortunately, he had an injury 2 months ago, and he couldn't do the right preparation and training, but he's still doing the marathon. So, but the rhythm is a little bit low than we were expected for him. And my father, there is a very strong story behind that because when we started with this pandemic and everything, my father, he was 45 days in hospital.
Oh my God!
And I know that a lot of people face that problem as well, but fortunately he's with us today. And when we decided to run a marathon, we decided to bring him together. He's not gonna run, he's just walking, but we wanted him in this experience with us. So it's more a family experience, and of course, after we are gonna discuss and see what was the experience for everyone. But it's more like a very strong experience for our family than something that we are gonna challenge.
Very good family experience. Great, you do that. Fantastic. Yes. Are there questions from the colleagues here in the room? So please just raise your hands, and we'll give you a mic. Otherwise, then I wish you good luck. I mean, you're probably going to be the pacemaker then for your brother, right?
Yes, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, thank you very much.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Kaká, for coming. We will wish you all the best. And as I said before, I think it's a very good idea to the first marathon here in Berlin, because it's a quite special experience, and especially also, I think, for the whole family to be here together in this beautiful town of Berlin.
Great, thank you very much. And I'm very excited. So this feeling that I'm feeling right now, it's very close to that one that I used it to feel when I was playing as a professional football player. Of course, there is completely different from those guys, no, who is very professional in the sport. This is something that it's really good in marathon as well, because as an amateur athlete, I can run and I can stay in the same field as the professionals. So this is something really special in marathon, that another experience that probably I will have, because after I'll not compare, but I'll say the best one who won the marathon did this time, and at the same time I was running with him, and I did, of course, a different time, but it's something that it's unique in marathon. So I'm very excited for that.
Great, yeah, great to have you here. So as before, with respect to the athletes, and thank you again for wearing the masks, because like everybody here from the team is also, we got tested every day here, and we want to take very much care of the athletes, and that's why we asked you to wear the masks, and we keep a distance here on stage to care for the hygienic propositions. So also we will have a short photo call now. Kaká, please stay here, and einen kurzen Fotopause machen wir noch, and then we're gonna go to the elite men. Hier ist die Startnummer für Kaká übergeben von Jürgen Lock. No? Danke, Jürgen. So Kaká, thank you for coming, and all the best for you and your father and your brother. Kaká.
You could turn your chair so you're more this way, straight, because then they look straight, otherwise they're looking over there. That's what we're moving the things around. He understands. You understand? He'll tell you. They're looking this way. That's too many children. That's too many people. It's too many. How many people are we putting up there?
So, danke fürs Bereitstellen hier. Und jetzt darf ich zunächst hier begrüßen.
So let's welcome on stage Mark Milde, the race director of the BMW Berlin Marathon. And we're going to have a short intro chat with Mark, hosted by Urs Weber, before we bring the elite men on stage. So just referring back to the number presentation for the Brazilian World Cup winner, Kaká. Oh, just to talk about the course renowned as a fast course, and there are occasional little nudges, changes to the course because of building works. Building works seems to be a feature of Berlin life, but it's very much similar to the course on which Eliud Kipchoge ran the current world record in 2018, 2:01:39. So there's no change in course in terms of course records. The parameters remain the same. So Mark Miller is saying we don't experience any problems with the course. He says we think the course is in great shape. Just a question of what the athletes can do. And of course there'll be the mass entertainment along the route, which will perhaps be grab the attention of the mass runners, more on the elite. A lot of music guaranteed, Mark says. There'll be between 80 and 100 different bands or groups entertaining everybody along the route. So we want to create a great atmosphere, a party atmosphere along the course. It's one of the core aspects of the Berlin Marathon. So let's welcome on stage elite member first. It's video.
first marathon victory at the age of 30 for Guye Adola. A masterful run for this man, so richly deserved this victory. He's going to break the 2 hours, 2 minute barrier, there's no doubt about this. The greatest performance in the history of marathon running on the male side. This is Eliud Kipchoge.
And we do indeed have these stars with us, and we'll welcome them on stage. Eliud Kipchoge, the world record holder and double Olympic champion. Ghirmay Ghebreslassie, 2015 world champion, but in great form, fastest ever time he's run this year, and also a winner of New York in 2016. Guye Adola, the winner in Berlin last year, and from Germany, Johannes Motschmann, a 2:12 performer, a key member of their Team Deutschland in the European Championships in Munich.
Did you arrive well? Did you get here well?
Yes, I landed safely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how do you feel? Are you in shape?
Absolutely, yes. That's why I'm here.
Very good.
Yes.
Eliud, coming back to Berlin, the first question everybody wants to hear and to listen to is what are your plans to run here? Because you have the favorable world record here in Berlin, and of course everybody is expecting a great time again for you to run in Berlin here. So what is your plan for Sunday's race?
First, I want to thank the organization for inviting me after 4 years to come again to run in the streets of Berlin. I appreciate that. Next is that I expect a very good race on Sunday, actually to commemorate what has been happening for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
So Guye, very good to have you here, and as a defending champion, and you have raised your personal best here in Berlin. Great to have you here again. And what is your expectation, and what made you decide that you come back again to Berlin?
Duraan dursee Berliinitti deebi'uu keetiif si dinqisiifannaa. Sanbata maal godhuu, maal yaaddaa, dorgommii akkamii godhuu yaaddaa?
Bareeda haalli jettan sirrumaa dorgommii amanu fuulduraa sanbataa kana illee qophii jiru xumurree yaa'u ni taasifna jedhee qophiin eegaa jirra.
For Sunday races, I am here, and all my preparation I done. Everything looks nice. I waiting to start the races and to see what is going on.
Mm-hmm. And Ghirmay, what about your plans for Sunday? You are racing, you know the course in Berlin, and you will be racing in a fast race here. So as a first timer or for the debut marathon, what is your expectation for Berlin here?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you for the organization of the Berlin Marathon and everybody who play a great effort to make the race is going to be on Sunday. And for giving me the special chance here to participate on Berlin Marathon. As you said, like everybody, what they expect during the race, I expect to see myself to be one of the best athletes on the podium.
Wunderbar. Johannes, du bist gerade angereist, speziell.
So turning to Johannes Motschmann, the 2:12.18, his personal best from Germany. Oh, it's great to be part of this. After the European Championships in Munich, I went to prepare at altitude in St. Moritz. And to be amongst such a world-class, high-quality field is really a great chance for me. So we'll come back to that and the great performance in Munich, Johannes, by the team Germany, who won the team gold. And Mark Milde asked about the strength and depth of the men's elite field. And Mark is saying, well, of course, with Eliud here and Guye, if you're looking at the times set here 10, 15 years ago, it's a different world now. We've got a really good number of men with very fast times. And there are a lot of runners who want to sort of set out their stall here in Berlin and show what they're capable of. It's about reputation, you could say. And of course, we're expected to be seeing Eliud in that leading group, and he's very capable of dictating what he wants and what he needs in terms of pace. And so often people say, we've come to Berlin for a reason, the fast course, and the leading group tends to stay together, be compact, as Mark just said. So amongst the Berlin legends, Eliud Kipchoge is certainly one of them.
You have opened the times to a new time span and to new best times, and we know that you always prepare yourself very carefully. And we know that you change a lot of things, also, for example, nutrition, but also the material. Is there something new you could try out this year? Or is the training as the year before?
Training-wise, actually, I've been maintaining the same trainings.
Mm-hmm.
But every day is a challenge, and every day is knowledge comes in, and coaches inject things, some new trainings. But all in all, I've been maintaining the same trainings. Technology has come in, and that's why it's driving us in a good way. On the other hand, is nutrition actually plays a key role as far as eating a balanced diet to keep us energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Mark, was ist deine Prognose? Wie wird das?
So, Mark, what's your prognosis? How do you see the race going? I don't bet, and I'm not going to bet. But I think that the leading group is so put together, with, of course, Eliud there as playing a key role, that looking back to the previous encounter between Eliud and Guye, that Guye actually took the lead, and Eliud had to step up his pace to catch him. I think we're in for a good race. And just looking a little further down the field, Johannes Motschmann, he's going to be running in the 5th group, which will still be going at a pretty good pace. Remember that Johannes Motschmann has a 2:12.18 as his best.
What is your plan, your tactic for this year's race?
Guye 2017 17 gara dhumaatitti isaaf oollee dabartee turte taaktikiin kee maal ture guusanitti?
Yeroo sanitti taaktikii wayimaatu hin beeku. Dorgommii inni Kipchoge jechuun atileetii cimaa. Kanaaf ani deemuu kiyya malee taaktikii wanna yaadellee hin qabu yeroo sanii jechuudha.
He says, first of all, Kipchoge means somebody very talented athlete, and he is like hero. In that time, I did not calculate anything, just to go in front and to run, not no any thinking or no plan. Just when my leg is moving, I move in front, and but I did not realize I compete with Kipchoge, and he beating me at the last moment.
Okay, very good. And Ghirmay, what's your expectation? Is it your first marathon, or as a first marathon experience in Berlin? Where will you cling on to? With which runners will you run together?
Even though it's my first time here in Berlin, I have some experience in the other major marathons like London and the big races in USA. Mm-hmm. Of course, everybody expects to do something special since we are competing all together with Kipchoge and with Adola. As Adola said, Kipchoge, if we speak about Kipchoge, that means we are speaking about the world legend. So to run with this big athletes is not easy, it's more challenging. For sure it's going to be more challenging race, but whatever comes from anyone else, since I'm going to compete with them, I'm going to try all my best to make all I need to have.
Very good to hear that. Bevor ich jetzt noch eine Frage an Johannes erstmal stelle, möchte ich doch...
Before we turn to a question for Johannes Motschmann, just a reminder for those in the hall that if you have questions, just raise your hand. It's a question for Johannes as well. It was only 6 weeks ago that you made that fantastic contribution to Team Deutschland in the European Championships in Munich, only 6 weeks ago. So in June, July, Johannes Motschmann saying he had the COVID virus. So he had to back off training. But then when he came back to training, things went very well. And after the European Championships in Munich, he took a week off running or training. But then again, when he started again, things were going very well. So he said, why not run in Berlin again? So also a reminder that Johannes Motschmann ran very well at the Berlin Half Marathon. That was in March. So keen to see how he runs on Sunday. So it seems we've got a question from the floor. Question for Eliud Kipchoge.
You're a role model for almost every runner in the world. What would have chances be without running for you? You know what I mean? What would have been your chances of being successful without running?
I think running on my side is life. I don't think I would be more successful than in anything else outside running. So I respect running, and that's why I call it running is life.
Running is life, is your life.
Yes.
Thank you, that's it.
Very good. Are there further questions? There's two questions there. First there, please, yes?
Yeah, Chris Dennis, commentator for the Will Feed. Eliud, hello again.
Hello.
You said this week that you want to run a very good race. You are a master of simple sentences, a very good race. So just tell us, what is the meaning behind the sentence? What do you mean by a very good race?
A very good race is a good race. that means the race whereby everybody actually will be happy, it will inspire people, it will motivate more people. And in case it can be translated to a course record, then I will appreciate. But it will be a good race.
Okay, machen wir hier weiter. Da drüben ist dann die nächste Frage.
So, perhaps another question.
I have a question to you. In Vienna, your family and children was with you, was supporting you, but that's what you said. It gave you mental support. How is this time? Do they come, or they will be watching on television, or not?
They will be watching on television, but we have a very we believe in teamwork. We believe in a team. We have a very good team with the right systems. We have management accompanying me. I have my own coach, Patrick is here, and that's the motivation that they will be giving me. So they're at home because children are in school, but I have a very good team which handles me well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So there are more questions there, please.
Ja, hallo, Martin Einsiedler vom Tagesspiegel. Ich habe eine Frage an Johannes Motschmann. Wie ist es, blickt man besonders ehrfurchtsvoll auf so einen Läufer wie Eliud Kipchoge? Gibt es Dinge, die Sie...
It's a question from the Tagesspiegel newspaper for Johannes Motschmann. Did you kind of feel respect for running in the same race as Eliud Kipchoge? Johannes Motschmann replies, yes, of course I do. Or Kenisa Bekele previously, of course you feel respect. Just to be part of it on the start line is big. And I'm looking forward to Sunday, as has been said quite a few times so far in this press conference, and yesterday as well.
About the speed session, because last 4 weeks, usually the last 4 weeks before a marathon, there are more speed session, and for years you used the dirty track in Moy, but this season I can see you are often on Kipchoge Keino Stadium on tartan treadmill. Is it any difference or improvement in preparation that you are using different track?
There's no tactic at all. It's just simple. The season actually has been unpromising. If it rains a lot, just change and go to the stadium where the tartan is. And if the weather is actually good, we go to that track in School of Law. Yeah.
Machen wir hier vorne weiter? Wir fragen, ja?
Okay. My question is from Eliud. I am from Argentina, La Nación Más. Eliud, I want to ask you if when you are running in a marathon, if sometimes you have like a negative thought, how do you deal with down moments? And you always smile, I told you, and like how you do it, deal with the pain and everything.
Pain is where success is, and if you are a marathoner and you run and you feel that pain, that's where success is. But all in all is that I keep calm, I enjoy running, and I am aware that for the 2 kilometers like life, there is ups and downs, but you need to feel the pain on the way, and that's how running is. There is no way you can run and finish a marathon actually in a smooth without pain. But all in all, you need to enjoy, not actually to forget the pain in your muscles. That's what I am doing. Yeah.
Very good answer. So, yeah.
Yeah. Once again, Eliud, you said running is life. Could you explain what does running mean for the people, especially in Kenya, in Kaptagat, in Iten, in that way to run for a better life? You know what I mean?
Yes. Personally, running is life. To the general public, running is life also, because the body actually, if you want to perform in your career, you need to move, and the only movement I'm recommending is running. If you run, then your blood is flowing from your head to the toe, and that's the only way your mind will think well. You will be held, and being healthy actually means you will do your own things. Running will make you live for a very longer. those who actually were interested to live for a very long. I trust everybody wants to have a longevity in life. The only way is to venture into running.
Very good. Yeah.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm speaking on behalf for Nyasha Derera. He is our global ambassador for Special Olympics, and he has a question for, Eliud.
Thank you. Thank you, Eliud Kipchoge, for being here. You're my inspiration. I'm from Africa. I've seen you competing on TV. It's my first time meeting you in person. I'm a Special Olympics athlete, and I spread the message of inclusion around the world. And I'm an athlete as well, and I know running is not easy. It's a motivation. It's determination. You have done a lot. So my question to you, how best can we create an inclusive world through running, through sport, and what message can we bring to the world? A message of hope, a message of inclusion. How do we do that?
The only way to bring the message of inclusivity is through running. Running actually unites people. Running promotes the freedom of association. And when people actually associate together, then they are united. And when there is unity, then there is peace. And when there is peace, there is health. Everybody is healthy. And when there is health, everybody is working in a positive way and has a lot of energy to work. So let us run together. I always preach the peace that let us run as one. Let us focus as far as a human family is concerned. Let us see all the people as equal, from the special people to general public to elite. All of them are the same. And the only ingredient which can bind together is running.
Hier. Ja, machen wir erst hier weiter und dann hier vorne bitte.
Hello, my name is Olga. I'm from Ukrainian media, and I have some philosophical question. Eliud, imagine you met a wizard and he tells you, choose a place and 3 characters, maybe historical or contemporary, and who would you choose for a conversation in a pleasant company during a morning run, in any place on earth? Who it will be and where?
Sorry? You go slowly as...
Yeah. Okay. Imagine you met a wizard, a magician, and he tells you, you can choose any persons, it could be historical or some person who live now, for a pleasant run in morning, anyway on earth. Who it will be and where? In what place?
No. So the question was, if I understood you right, if Eliud has a wish to run with one person, historically or from the present time, who would it be, right? Is that your question? Yeah. And where, in which place?
I think I will choose Barack Obama, and I will invite him to Kenya to run. Reason is Barack Obama he has a character of hope, the character of inspiration, the character of unity, and it goes actually beyond all human nature, be it you are red, be it you are white or black, then it stands out.
Very good. Yeah. So we will tell that to Barack Obama. There's more questions here. Yeah.
Well, after this beautiful sentence, I would like to come back to Sunday, which is coming. There will be some support, some pacemakers for working with you, Noah Kipchoge and Moses Koech, and the third one. And we can expect some brutal pace, about 60, 40 on halfway. Is it in your mind this kind of time on halfway mark?
I think I will go with the right and mark the time by the organization. And I think the pacemakers are ready to go with that time. Be it 60, 50, 40 or 61, then it will be okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Who told you it's 60, 40?
This is also not my information, but I don't know where you get it from, but...
I wrote this information in my article.
Oh, okay.
So I think...
So you are doing investigation?
If you can make some correction, I can change it.
No problem, it's okay.
But if I already wrote 60-40, maybe you can think about this.
Yeah, I will think about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Eliud, yesterday we had Kira D'Amato here. She will run on Sunday, and she has the American record hole and of 2:19. And she said, she had a break of 7 years not running, and when she came back now, she said what has changed is her mindset. She's now more in a positive mood. Is the positive mood important for running? Because we see you a lot smiling, also like other hero runners like Kenenisa or Haile was also a very humorous man. Is that important for elite running?
Yes, positivity actually is what drives a sportsman.
Mm-hmm.
Positivity actually is what drives a human being in this world. If you are positive, then you can actually push limits.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you think otherwise, then you will start going back. So positivity actually is the key in everything you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah. So all the best for Sunday. Thanks for the time. Please stay here. We will have a photo later on. Sorry.
One last question, please.
Yeah, one last question. Yes.
Sorry, Horst. One last question. Back to the pacing. Mark, if it's not 60-40, what is it?
I think there will be some more discussion going on, and we will decide most probably tomorrow afternoon, and then we might let you know. Yes.
We will see on Sunday who is right then, where the time. Sorry, we have one more question here, then we should get to the final round. Robert, hier vorne ist noch eine Frage. In der Mitte. Bitte nochmal Hand heben, wo das Mikro hin soll.
Ja, vielen Dank. Volker Schubert, Bundeswehr-Sportmagazin. Eine Frage an Herrn Motschmann. Wie schaffen Sie es jetzt eigentlich nach dem...
A question for Johannes Motschmann. This should be the last question of the press conference. So for Johannes Motschmann, what significance, importance does the Berlin Marathon have, given it's only 6 weeks since you ran as part of the Team Deutschland in the European Championships? So for me, Johannes says Berlin Marathon is very important. It's the biggest race, city race of my career. And I'm a local boy, a local matador, as the German phrase has it. I'm a local boy. So that also means a lot. And as I said, in June, July, I had the COVID virus. And I had my preparation for European Championships was really quite short. So it's, the standard thinking was that you could only run 2 marathons a year. But maybe that's changed, and I've changed my diet, a more sort of vegetarian style diet, and I think that's helped my regeneration process, and the training has gone well. And after, as he's already said, a week off training after European Championships, started training again. Training's gone very well, and I feel very fit. I think I can run a good performance on Sunday. So the training camp I went to in St. Moritz in Switzerland was at 800 meters altitude. And at that altitude, we're running slower. And before Munich and the European Championships, I was there for 4 weeks and adapted pretty well, and could, be in control of the training. And didn't have any problems. So, thank you very much, everybody, for these questions from the hall. Thank you very much for the questions.
On stage, so please stay here, and also for a photo, we'll have another photo call with the athletes here. Zwei Informationen möchte ich noch geben. Heute Abend.
And I just want to say tonight, Friday evening at 6 p.m. German time, there'll be at the Brandenburg Gate induction of the Hall of Fame. Some distinguished performers going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And please get in touch with our media team, Jochen Schmitz and Robert Fakel, leading members of that media team. Thank you very much, and thank you very much from me, Andy Edwards. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be with you for the press conference for the skaters on Saturday, and of course, race day on Sunday.
Very good, yeah.